still above water.
Hi guys, welcome back to my video. So this video is just gonna be like some breastfeeding tips, Q&A, my breastfeeding journey and stuff. So first things first, like I need to start off by saying I am not a doctor, I am not a nurse, I am not a lactation consultant. I'm not certified in any way about breastfeeding or how to lactate or any of that stuff. So I just want to share my story, what worked for me, what I've said to my friends to give them advice. I know some of them had successful nursing experience. Also, I just want to say that everyone's breastfeeding journey is different and no judgment zone here. I do not go ahead and judge or lower another mom for not breastfeeding or having formula fed or having to formula fed their child. I support every mom and their decision. Everybody's baby is equally loved, everybody's baby is healthy, everybody's baby is as beautiful, and we just need to be more open about that. Everybody's story is different. Alright, so now that I already said that, I just want to go on ahead and answer a couple questions that I was asked on Instagram. So someone asked me tips on relieving a plug duct. So when I had milk ducts, like I had a lot, a lot of times what helped me was having a warm washcloth and putting it on my on the breast that had the milk duct on it. It was kind of not really warm, it was more like a hot one, and then I would just massage it while I'm pumping. So you just want to massage, and there's different ways that you massage your breast. You can do a lot of online research. I did a lot of circular motions or just press on, and that's what helped me. If that didn't help me, I would go in the shower and get the hot water to run on my body, and I would just massage my breast. But I didn't really like doing that because that's like your your breast milk is gold. You don't want that to go to waste, so that's why I didn't really do that as much. I usually just did the hot washcloth over my breast, and that helped me a lot. And what you can do as well is, while your baby is breastfeeding and you're holding your baby, have your partner come and massage. Be like gentle, but be really pushy on it. Like you want to make sure that you get all the milk ducts out. Usually the milk ducts happen overnight, or if I was just bottle feeding and not having her on my breast and not pumping enough. So that's the only way milk ducts can really happen. If your breast feels no suction of the baby or the pump, that's how your milk ducts can happen. So when I worked with Lancino, they gave me this right here. So this can help put, instead of using a washcloth, if you want to go ahead and go out to the store and buy this, you can definitely go ahead and buy this. You can put it in the microwave, you can freeze it and just put it on your breast. You can use it to relieve nipple pain by freezing it. So I feel like this is helpful. This is how it looks. There's two in there, they're like little beans. So I wasn't able to use this with Gabriela because I didn't buy one of these. And honestly, I didn't even know they had these. So when I worked with them, I was lucky enough to get one of those. But if you want to save money, and I know things can get hard with budgeting, so you can go ahead and just use a washcloth like I did. Another question is, how do you produce more milk, and what's the best breast pump to you? So increasing milk supply. I ate oatmeal. This is what worked for me, by the way. I ate oatmeal every single day. I didn't go a day without oatmeal. Every day in the morning I ate oatmeal. Oatmeal doesn't have to be nasty, doesn't have to be dry, doesn't have to be boring. You can make it fun in different ways. You can add fruits, you can add different ingredients in it. Also, you can make smoothies. Make smoothies with brewer yeast and flax seeds, which I know that really helped me. I put flax seeds and brewer's yeast into my oatmeal. You can make lactation cookies. If you guys haven't seen my lactation cookies recipe, you can go ahead, I think it's the second video that I uploaded, you can go ahead and check that out, or I'll make sure I drop it down in the description below. But you can go ahead and do different things. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go ahead and feel like, if you know your body's drying up, then go ahead and do things to help your body lactate more. Have your baby breastfeed more on your breast, because once your breast feels the suction of your baby, it sends messages through your body like, okay, I need to produce more milk. So let me just show you guys. This is the flax seeds that I use. This is the brewer yeast I used, and I bought this off Amazon because you can't really find it in stores. You can also make different smoothies, milkshakes, muffins, you know, brownies. You can make that at home. Like, you don't have to go online and buy lactation supplies. But I do know some websites that do sell lactation cookies, brownies, drinks. I can go on ahead and link that below as well for you guys to see. Throughout the journey of breastfeeding my second child, I will be showing you guys a lot of lactation recipes that I have in mind. Also, don't get discouraged if you're drying up. Don't just eat one lactation cookie one day and then expect your milk supply to grow. It takes time to go into your system. It takes time in your body. Everybody's body is different, so just be patient with yourself. Drink plenty of water and just don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. Someone asked me how to manage to breastfeed for a year. So if you guys didn't know, I breastfed my first for a year. I recently stopped in February, and it was really upsetting for me because I couldn't continue to breastfeed her because I am pregnant. My doctor suggested not to. I also was drying up really bad, and it was really painful, and I was just like, okay, it's time to wean off. And she weaned off really fast. If you guys want any tips on how to wean a baby from breastfeeding, just let me know and I can make a separate video on that. But how I breastfed for a year, honestly, I don't even know. So I didn't know anything about breastfeeding. I didn't know what breastfeeding was. I didn't know that your boobs can create milk. Like, this sounds really dumb, but I didn't know that. I thought that all babies were formula fed because that's what I grew up feeding my younger siblings. That's what I grew up making my younger siblings bottles for my mom, helping her that way. I never seen her breastfeed, so I never knew anything about that. And so I think it was like 2 nights before or the week after I got induced that I did some research. I found out that you can breastfeed, found out that your body creates milk for your child. And so I just wanted to breastfeed, for one, because it's nature. It's your body is born to do this. This is what your body is for. So why not go ahead and give what your body gives you the opportunity to breastfeed your child, you know? I also wanted to breastfeed because there's many moms that aren't able to do it, and I'm able to do it. So I wanted to do that for those who can't. I wanted to give my daughter the best nutrition. I also had a lot of friends who had babies before me, and their babies had a lot of colic with formula. Their babies had very painful constipation, didn't poop for days, and I just didn't want to bring that pain into my daughter. I know a couple of my friends used to massage their babies' bellies while we were on play dates, and their babies would just scream and cry and just of pain. I couldn't do that to my daughter. I just couldn't. She tried formula once, and that was only because, so she was a week old. She wasn't gaining any weight, so the doctor was like, okay, she's not gaining weight, so I suggest you to formula feed. He didn't really like help me learn more about breastfeeding, didn't encourage me to continue breastfeeding, and I feel like male doctors wouldn't understand that, so I highly recommend talking to a female doctor. So when I did give her formula that one day when she was like a week old, like I just knew that it was just a bad decision. I just looked at her, I looked at myself, I felt terrible as a mom, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep trying. So I went online, did some research how to help your milk. So all of those things that I've seen and read are the reasons why I stayed motivated to continue breastfeeding. Seeing her get all her vitamins through breast milk has really helped me. They say give your child vitamin D oils with breast milk because they don't get enough. That's only because they're not in the sun as much, but you still do have every vitamin in your breast milk to give your child. I also loved the connection that I had with Gabriela. I loved being able to do this for her. I loved every single part of it, even the hard times. I just love how she found comfort in me. It's just like a really nice feeling to have your child fall asleep in your arms, knowing that you have food for her. Also, it's a great way to budget if your families can't really afford formula, because formula is really expensive, and if your child has any allergies, then it can get really expensive finding a good formula for them. So breastfeeding is the best way to go about it of saving money. I know that WIC can help you, but I never had to sign up for any help to get formula or anything because I just breastfed my daughter for a whole year. So that's that. I do say it is really hard to get your child to take a bottle. I struggled with Gabriela because I had her so used to the breast and not really the bottle that she refused bottle. She refused to eat any solid foods. She recently started eating solid foods about in December, January. She started eating a lot more, but she really refused to eat, and it was really hard for me to go to work. It was really hard for me just in general because I just knew that my daughter was out there starving. Her dad used to bring her on my breaks and I would feed her. I would have so much milk stored in my freezer and she would not drink any of it. None of the milk that I had for her she would drink. And it was just really depressing because she just didn't like bottles. She only wanted me. That's the only bad side about it, is that they can get attached too much and it can stop you from living your daily life. If we went out to restaurants, went out to eat, it would always have to be me. And at nighttime, it would always have to be me. If I needed to shower, if I needed to pee, and she's hungry, she's crying, it has to be me. So it was really hard with that. That's why I do plan on just exclusively pumping my second child. But if that doesn't work out the way I want it to do, breastfeeding is always fine. I can always deal with it. I just want to get my boyfriend more involved in him making bottles. I want my son to take bottles. I want my son to be able to eat, to not be as attached to me. It was really hard when, like, if I needed someone to watch Gabriela, nobody could watch her because she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't take bottles from anyone. So it was just very hard in that sense. Also, if you guys are wondering where Gabriela is, she's currently sleeping on the bed right now. That's why I'm right here in the corner in my room, because she's sleeping and it's very quiet. So yeah. I also got, did you do nursing and pumping, and when did you start to do both? So I did nursing right away when Gabriela was born, skin to skin time. It's very important that once the doctor gives you your baby, you go straight to introducing your child to the nipple. You don't want to like straight pull your child into your nipple, but you want your child to smell you. You want your child to smell the milk, to have that connection. And Gabriela actually lactated really fast. She did make me bleed the second day. That was only because she was latching wrong. And yeah, you just want to have lots of skin time. You want your child to get familiar with your breast and find their way through. It's very important. So I breastfed as soon as Gabriela was born. Then my pump didn't come in to like the weekend of that day. I think it was like Sunday. I had to call them to be like, hey, I just had my child and my pump isn't here. So when I called my insurance, this is the pump that I got right here, and it's the Lancino pump, and I absolutely love this pump. I started pumping right away. I would wake up every night at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. to pump, and between the hours, like, so once you have a newborn, you have to feed them like every 2 hours, right? So I would breastfeed her, and then when she would be sleeping, I would pump. I made sure I was on it, like pumping all the time. Even if I was tired, I'd make sure I had an alarm on at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., then one at 6 and 7 a.m. to pump milk, and then keep that in the freezer. That's how I had so much milk in the freezer, because I made sure I woke up to go and pump milk for her, because I'm like, okay, once I work, she's gonna have so much milk, and this is really healthy. Milk can last up to 12 months, but like I said, she didn't take any of it because she was just too attached to my breast. So this is the breast pump that I love. Absolutely love everything about it. You connect it with your phone through your app. You can note down how much your child ate, what time they breastfed, what how many ounces did you get on the left boob or the right boob. It came with a bag, a cooler bag, ice packs, a lot of things, bottles. It came with a lot of things, and I just love this pump so much. It had a lot of good support on the suction. You can adjust the speed of the suction as well, which I really loved as well. Another question is, what do I do if my baby doesn't latch right away? I went through like this hunger strike with Gabriela. They call it a hunger strike, where they don't want boob at all, and that's when I use a nipple shield. A nipple shield is like a bottle. It's the nipple of the bottle. It's kind of like the nipple of the bottle. You put it on your nipple, then you have your baby on there. That helped me latch to Gabriela. That also helped me with when I was bleeding or when I was sore. You can also do lots of skin to skin time. Like I said, it's very important for your child to smell you and smell the milk and get comfortable around you. Would also suggest just speaking to your lactation consultant and just keep searching online and not to give up. Keep trying. A lot of people get frustrated and just give up, but don't give up. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. What breast pads did I use? So for breast pads, I didn't know breast pads were a thing. So when I had milk leaking, I'm like, what am I doing? So I searched up breast pads, and I love these Lancino breast pads. These are my favorite breast pads. They're disposable. You can throw them away as soon as they start to smell, or as soon as they get really heavy with milk. If you want to budget your money, you can get the washable ones. I also have washable ones, and I believe these are from Baboohoo. So these are from Bamboo Bees, washable ones. I don't use this because when the milk comes out and it goes onto it, it doesn't completely dry right away. It still stays on it, so it's kind of like you feel the wetness, and I didn't like that feeling. And also, if it changes the smell of your breast because of the milk. So if the milk falls in there and you have it there, it creates a smell that I just didn't like. And that's when my hunger strike happened, when Gabriela knew that her milk did not smell the same, because this made my whole breast smell bad. So I stopped using these. Here are the Lancino ones as well. They're a bit dirty, but this is the Lancino ones as well. This one didn't give me a bad smell, but it doesn't hold as much as the disposable ones, and that's why I don't like them, so I just don't use them. What storage bags do I use? So for pumping, here are the storage bags that I use. It is the Lancino storage bags, and I used the Modelo ones before. They are not the best. You can't really lay them out as flat as the Lancino one if you want to have your fridge looking organized and just saving space. I'll insert some photos of how my fridge used to look like. And they also rip faster on me, so I don't know why it did that, and I just didn't like it. It didn't hold as much ounces. So this is the Lancino one, and I absolutely love this thing. It holds up 8 ounces. Sometimes I'll go overboard and close it. Then it also it gives you the option to like leave the date, time, and ounces and name and stuff. So when your milk is in there, you put it on the freezer laying flat on a flat surface. This is one of the pieces for the pump. It connects right away to the pump. So this is what I loved about it, is that I didn't have to dirty bottles when I needed to pump. See how this is on? I'll just go on, pump, the milk will fall. The bag never fell, but if you feel like it'll fall, you can just hold it like this and just have milk pump. Once you're done with it, you go ahead and close it, sip it, write the date, freeze it. You didn't have to dirty no bottles, which was really nice because nobody wants to be up washing bottles, right? The only thing you'll have to wash is this, that you use the adapter. Once your child doesn't drink 4 ounces and they drink more than 4 ounces, I got this adapter. This is how it looks like. This connects to your Lancino pump, and I don't know if it connects to another pump, but you put it like this, and if you have like a Dr. Brown bottle, if you have any other bottle that's not Lancino and you need it to adapt to this, you just put the bottle there and you pump right away and you just give it to your child. I used this when I switched over to, I think, Dr. Brown bottles, and also I use this bottle because I used to pump for this preemie baby, and when I would watch him, his bottles were very small, like really small. So this helped me give him pump milk, straight fresh milk, and give it to him to drink. And yes, the guardian knew that I was doing this. They knew that I was giving them my milk. But anyways, that's what helped me use this as well. When I pump, it hurts. I think it's the suction question mark. So pumping shouldn't hurt. Breastfeeding shouldn't hurt. It will only hurt if you're doing it wrong, and that's what I learned the hard way. So what I love about Lancino, it comes with different flange size. I can also link a photo below of how to measure your nipple size, so you can know what flannel to use for your pump. Do I have to eat a specific diet? No. So a lot of Hispanic moms, like my mom is Hispanic, she's like, don't eat spicy food, don't eat beans, don't eat cold drinks. But honestly, nothing can pass through your milk unless it's like hardcore drugs. Like if I'm gonna be doing like Xanax or just something crazy, obviously that will go through your milk, but food, it wouldn't. So it's okay to, you know, eat what you want, but also take care of yourself. You know, you don't want to eat anything like that's really bad. You want to still continue to take care of yourself. Another question, I'm like so tired, I'm running out of breath, so it's like very hard to catch on, and you guys can probably hear me breathe really hard, which is kind of embarrassing. So somebody asked, is it okay if I drink coffee? Yeah, it's okay to drink coffee. You can even drink coffee if you're pregnant. You can go You can drink your 1 cup of coffee. That's what I always stuck to. I always drank 1 cup of coffee, and that would be my coffee for the day. How do I nurse out the house? I was given this little like breastfeeding cover right here. This one is from Parents' Choice. You just go ahead, put it over yourself, and breastfeed your child. Another one that I had was, I was also given a different one. This one was my favorite one because I wore it as a cardigan. A poncho, I think that's what it's called. That's how I wore it, a poncho. And this one's from Bamboobies. Oh, and I love the texture of this. It's very soft and like silky. So I also had this one. Oh my gosh, it's giving me so many vibes, like throwback vibes of when Gabriela was born. So this is how it looks. You just go ahead, breastfeed your child, you know, you can poke in and see how your baby's doing. That's what I use to breastfeed in public, because when Gabriela was a little baby and newbie, when we had to take her to like the doctor's appointment, or if we would go out to eat, that's what I used. But mostly when she started, I think she was about 4 to 5 months, she hated it. So she would just pull it, throw a fit, and she wouldn't breastfeed. So what I just started doing is just poking my boob out in public. I wouldn't even care, because my child has to eat. My child's gonna eat, and I'm not gonna like cover myself just because of some jerk not wanting to see me give my child food, you know? So the next question is, what bras did I use? I bought them off Walmart, and there's just like clip-ons where you just clip them off and clip them back on. Those are the bras that I use. If I didn't, then I'll just wear sport bras and just pull it up when I breastfed. And to pump, you can get this from Lansano. I have a lot of Lansano stuff. It goes on like this, and it has like a little hole, and you put the pump itself in it, so it will look like this. And I would pump right here. If you need to pump right away and you need to be hands-free, then what I did, I used a sport bra that I know that I wouldn't really care if I cut through it. Made little tiny holes in the front, and then I'll just put the pump in just like I showed you guys. This in the front, and then this there, and then the bra in there. So that's what I did. To save money, you know, you always have to be resourceful. How do I know how much my baby is drinking? I struggled with this so much. I struggled knowing if Gabriela was getting enough milk. She stopped taking bottles like when she was 2 months. So she wouldn't take bottles, and I would struggle with knowing how many ounces she drank. And when I breastfed her, she'll probably be done like within 5 minutes. So let me just tell you guys, your baby is drinking enough. You're gonna get to know your baby. You're gonna get to know the routine. You're gonna get to know the hungry cry, the sad cry, the diaper change cry. There's many different cries. So you're gonna get to know your baby. And of course, in the beginning, they tell you to breastfeed. They tell you to feed your child every like 2 to 3 hours. So I fed her every 2 hours. When she started getting bigger and not taking bottles, she would breastfeed for like 5 to 10 minutes and she'll be done. And that's because when they're sucking on your boob and getting milk, a lot of milk comes out. It's not little tiny drops like a nipple from a bottle. It's a lot of milk. If you ever seen your milk come down, your letdowns, you will see that a lot of milk actually comes down. It's not like little tiny drops. So just know that your baby is drinking, and they know how much they're taking in, and they know when they're done. So once they're full, they'll come off your boob. What I like to do is breastfeed her like 5 minutes on my boob, the left boob, or 5 minutes on the right boob. That way it wouldn't be like my milk be uneven and then my boobs will be uneven. So I'll just know that she drank 5 minutes in each boob and that'll be 10 minutes. She usually would drink a lot. Then what really helped me was pumping. When I would pump, I would know how much I'd get on one boob and then on the other. So I would kind of like have a better insight of how much milk I am able to have to give her. That's about it. That's basically my story, my journey, my suggestions, my tips. I know that there's still a lot more questions left to be unanswered. I know that a lot of people ask me, but hopefully by seeing this video I can help some people with a few questions that they're concerned about. Thank you for watching. This is the end of my video. These videos are about 30 minutes long, so I have a lot of editing to do because I do not want to have a really long video put up there. I just wanted to get straight to the point. So thank you for watching once again, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave any comment that you want. Anything is helpful, even if it's just emojis. It will help a lot to me. Don't be afraid to DM me. I always reply to everyone who DMs me. I love helping other mamas that want to breastfeed. One thing that I just want to say is be patient with yourself, be patient with your body, be patient with your baby. Next video, it's going to be about this rice water that I made Gabriela. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Bye.